Good morning, friends and beautiful people. I haven't posted in a while. We've had a lot going on. I've been doing a lot of canning. And this morning I'm licking my wounds. I was out looking for, here's my, these are the Macedonian peppers. I'm out harvesting some of these today. And we've had these kittens. I think I've shown you pictures of them. I'm not usually a cat person, but these little boogers have grown on me. And we've got one of them that turned up missing last night. We're pretty sure a coyote came up yesterday afternoon and got it up by the house. So I was out here licking my wounds and feeling sorry for myself and thinking about life and death on the homestead. And then this happened right beside the peppers. Alas, they have arrived on the fennel. And there's lots of them. I don't know if you can, let's see if I can get you some better pictures in here. There's a nice one. So hopefully our little shadow kitten comes back. But daggone it, my heart hurts. Anyway, a little more about food shortages. I know I touched on a lot of it, and it was a lot for me to put out there, and there's a lot that I didn't get out there. And after I watched the video myself, I'm like, well, you forgot to talk about this, and you forgot to talk about that. And so there's a few more things that I will tell you. So one of the things that is happening is the price of containers from overseas has gone from a few $1,000s per container for shipping to $28,000. Now, to put that in perspective, you can fit 12 couches on a container. So if you divide that up between your 12 couches, you're looking at the price of a couch going up another $1,000 minimum. I just thought I'd show you some of the flowers. Pretty much the garden's done. It's just cleanup time, but I was out here surveying. Look at all that toothache plant. So, and the reason, one of the things we were looking into was with the remodel, it's time for us to order a couch. So we tried to find an American-made couch, and there's a company, I think it's in North Carolina, that is producing couches. They're out a year, and they're not taking any more orders. So right now, we are couchless. Now, if you put that same container and you put a load of iPhones on it, you can get thousands of iPhones in there, so it's not going to increase on something like that. These are the ones I've already harvested from. These are the Macedonian peppers. One of the things I like about these, by the way, squirrel, is that they're very disease resistant, both the pepper and the plant. And these champagne bubbles, I've got to get some seeds for these dried. So if you want some seeds, just let me know, because I might have a couple. So anyway, the price of the shipping containers has gone up. Now, I will tell you, I have tried to order samples for some trade shows and some things, which thankfully were canceled because a lot of my manufacturers can't even spare samples. And when you think about, that's how you sell food, and that's how people determine if they want to buy food, and you can't even get them samples. It just goes to show the state of our economy in the United States. And the grapes have, so we did have some grapes. They were amazing, and there weren't enough for wine, but next year. And we've already got orders for corn stalks from our kids that want us to put up some bundles together for them. So the shipping containers have gone up, the food has gone down. We still see manufacturers are discontinuing production on some items. So what that means for you is you may go to the grocery store and think that, and I'm not talking about staples like flour and sugar and salt. I'm talking about things like frozen garlic bread or a certain kind of French fry. And you go and they're out, and they every time you go to the store, they're out. It couldn't be a shortage. There's a potential that that could be where these manufacturers have scaled back what they are actually producing to free up production lines to produce the items they have more movement on, or that they make more gross profit dollars on. So we have that happening. We also still, as far as an update on the chicken market goes, there's no end in sight. It went from, it was supposed to be spring of next year, and then it was fall of next year, and now they're saying they don't know when. So, and they're still one of the major chicken producers in the United States that is in another lawsuit, and that's not looking good. We're out here looking for coyotes, by the way, while we're talking. So we have that happening with the food shortages, and an update on the move situation. We had a realtor come and appraise, what they thought we could sell our place for. It was significantly more than what we thought. We are going to, and we actually went and looked at an Amish farm that we were interested in purchasing. And frankly, friends, it would have meant, now imagine yourself going from my big, beautiful new kitchen to living in a camper for 6 months. And I'm not a princess. I was okay with doing it, but then we started looking at everything, and we just decided that wasn't the farm for us. Everything was uphill, and Hubs has got knee issues right now that he's working through, that they think they're going to work through, but, so, one of the other things, there's so many other things, and I should have just made a list before I started my video, but I saw those caterpillars and just had to let myself do it. But there are some other shortages that we've been running into, and it's just crazy. You can't, if your car breaks down, they don't have computer chips to fix most of them right now. That's all the noise coming from over here, kids. Oh, I love my life. One of the sweetest sounds that you can hear when you're laying in bed is the sound of your rooster telling you it's time to get up because I want to come out and play. So we did we ended up with 10 out of the 12 eggs. One chicken couldn't get hatched by itself. I'm not one of those people who helps. I think that it's nature's selection. You may agree or disagree with me there. And then we had another chick that didn't make it. So we did all pointy eggs because we were testing the old wives' tale that pointy eggs make roosters. And guess what? It was true. Our new little chicks look like they're all roosters. So we'll know for sure here in a couple weeks, but it sure looks like it right now. So that's just a little bit of an update. I'm done processing tomatoes. I've processed tomatoes till my fingers are just so waterlogged from tomato that I don't think they'll ever recover. Look at all these elderberries, and we've already processed and dehydrated a lot of them. So what I think I'm going to do, in addition to, I'll just do small updates on the shortages for you, but I think I'm going to do some recipes on, so let me back up a little bit. Part of my experience in the food service industry is, as a broker, I would have to come up with recipes to take in with product to chefs. This was before I became involved in that commodity side, to give them ways to use products. So while I'm not a chef, I don't claim to be one, I can bumble through it with the best of them. So I figured what I would do is do some recipes for you on those things that a lot of people stock up on, like beans and rice, and just show you how we do it. Leeks. Remember that asparagus? Because I think it's important to have variety in what you're eating. This is that, remember that little tiny asparagus bed? We got a little bit of rain last night, but it's been kind of dry here. And he is. So that's what, I think that's what I'm going to do with, in the winter when there's not a lot else going on. And for the quilt shop, we're going to start having hours on Saturdays. Never Sundays, but we will have some hours on some Saturdays, and we'll post those out there in our newsletter. That way, if we do get locked down, you got something to do. And I might even do an old-fashioned bed turning with some of my quilts. Lordy day, this does make me feel better. So if you would, say a little prayer that Shadow comes home and that he was just over visiting a neighbor. And friends, I pray every day that our country and our leaders make smart decisions, make godly decisions, seek him for advice, and that we are just in a little bit of a dearth, and that we are going to come back as strong as we were and as proud as we were in 1776. So until my next video, be blessed and be a blessing.